Well, Terre Haute has plans to remove a large section of railroad track. The project ties into a bigger scheme of beautifying the area near the Wabash River. However, as News 10's Matt Gregory tells us, the city had to step back in time to find out who actually owned the rails.
Look closely at 1st Street in Terre Haute, the road with a rail track running in the median. It's a track that hasn't seen a train run the length of it in years, but the city still sees a use for it.
This is Poplar Street right here.
We were looking for something nice to do with the tracks, or excuse me, with the 1st Street, and the idea of just filling the median with soil, topsoil, grass, and trees kind of came about.
But the track will come out all the way through here.
City engineer Chuck Ennis showed us the plans for the future 1st Street Boulevard, taking the track out and beautifying the street. Once the city came up with the plan, the only issue they had was they weren't quite sure who owned the land that the tracks stand on. And that's when Ennis and the clerk's office flipped through history, tracing back this railway to the early 1800s.
We went back to the 1830s in council proceedings to find the documentation where the city had granted a different railroad at that time, but anyway, granted the railroad permission to use the city's right-of-way to provide rail service for the industries in town.
The old right-of-way passed through history, with the land never passing ownership from the city. But the actual track still belongs to CSX, who has abandoned this tract of rail for the city's future.
Permission was basically granted in November November of 2014, and we've been coordinating with CSX's construction crew for the removal of the track.
And the ownership means the city doesn't spend any money to acquire the land, returning this trail to the city's use for a new future. In Terre Haute with photojournalist John Tim, Matt Gregory, News 10.
Ennis says CSX will remove the rails as the weather warms up.